a tragic development in the search for Parker Wells.
It is with profound sadness that I can confirm that we have found the body of a small child, which we believe to be Parker. So many people woke up hoping it would be the day Parker came home. Instead, we are here sharing news that it is heartbreaking for his family and for everyone who has been carrying that hope.
Plus, he's a top fundraiser for the Separatist movement.
I'm saying don't trust me. Please don't. But do this one thing.
He also served time in prison for manslaughter. And it's a sport that makes quite a racket.
Because all you hear is that popping sound.
And some Calgarians have no patience for pickleball.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news. With Tara Nelson. Reporting tonight, Ian White.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. We begin with breaking news. After nearly 2 weeks, the search for Parker Wells has come to a tragic end. The body of the missing 11-year-old was found this afternoon. Alicia Fieldberg joins us from police headquarters. Alicia, so many people were holding out hope. This is just a heartbreaking end.
So heartbreaking, Ian. Thousands of people have been scouring the city in hopes of finding Parker, the 11-year-old autistic nonverbal boy who wandered away from his day home nearly 2 weeks ago. That day home is on Connaught Drive Northwest. He left there Thursday, July 16th. This afternoon, the remains of a small child believed to be Parker were found several kilometers away in the 5600 block of 7th Street Northeast. Police received the tip Tuesday night from a member of the public out searching who found shoes near a culvert. It's believed the child entered the culvert on the west side of Deerfoot Trail and got into a web of small tunnels. It's a 4-foot concrete pipe and leads into a labyrinth of pipes that get as small as 2 feet in width. The remains were found about 450 feet inside that network of pipes, and investigators believe that he had been there for quite some time. Police and Calgary firefighters had previously searched the creek and tunnels, but the smaller ones were unsafe for searchers to enter. At this time, there is no evidence of criminality in this case. Investigators think that he went into the pipe in all of the clothes that he was last seen wearing, but his shoes washed out later. A medical examiner will investigate the remains. Calgary's police chief is commending the efforts of everyone who got out to search, shared information, and tens of thousands of pieces of video surveillance.
Obviously, this is not the result we wanted. We wanted to find him alive. But we are relieved, and I've been speaking to all the search teams and all the other search managers. We're relieved to be able to bring Parker home, and that's always been our goal and objective throughout this entire search. And so, yes, we are very sad.
While today is not the outcome anyone wanted, I hope Parker's family takes some comfort in knowing they were not alone. So many people cared deeply about their son and wanted to help bring him home. For that, we are sincerely grateful.
Police say that Parker's family is, of course, devastated and asking for privacy to grieve the loss. When Parker did go missing nearly 2 weeks ago, they released a statement saying that Parker is a beloved son, brother, and friend, and they are heartbroken. Ian?
Alicia, thank you. A debate over equalization is again at the forefront in Alberta, with a vote on exploring separation just months away. The Premier made her pitch directly to the Prime Minister today, saying changes are needed to make it fairer. Jordan Canagan has more.
The Prime Minister and Alberta Premier standing side by side in Red Deer with different opinions on equalization.
I feel as well that we've got to get a bit more fairness into the program.
That program distributes federal taxes to provinces to address fiscal disparities. Currently, Alberta, Saskatchewan, and British Columbia do not receive equalization payments.
Get rid of that escalator. Let's equalize to the point of need, and then let's take the excess that's in that fund and distribute it back to the provinces on an equal per capita basis. That'll help us with our funding pressures. And I think it will be a demonstration that just because there's extra money, you don't just cut a check to Ontario, who clearly doesn't need it.
It's been a point of contention in this province for years.
Western provinces over here are feeling really disgruntled or kind of like ripped off. So I understand where they're coming from, but I think our voices need to be heard more, and we can have a little bit more fairness in this program.
Like, what's the point of what's the point? There's no equalization at that point.
And is part of the reason behind a push for separation, with some believing Alberta is being taken advantage of. While Albertans are paying the same federal tax rates as everyone else, we contribute more to Ottawa because we are richer.
It is certainly a challenge for the federal government to reform equalization in a way that pleases everybody, because by its nature, it's a program that pays more to some than others, and to some provinces like Alberta, nothing at all.
But the program is up for renewal in a few years, and Ottawa will look to strike a balance.
A heart of fairness, and this is true it's true within a province, it's true across the country, is that Canadians have access to reasonably comparable services, right? Whether it's health, education, reasonably comparable. Doesn't mean it's exactly the same, but it's reasonably comparable.
And Jordan is near Red Deer with more. Jordan, when could we see a review of this program?
Ian, the Prime Minister confirming a review will happen, but he wouldn't say whether that review could happen well before the renewal date. The last significant changes to the equalization program were nearly 2 decades ago, and another renewal must take place before the end of March of 2029. Ian?
Thanks, Jordan. Carney and Smith also announced a housing infrastructure agreement. Ottawa will spend $510 million over 8 years to invest in water and wastewater infrastructure to support new housing in Alberta. Alberta will contribute a minimum of 1/3 of eligible project costs led by municipal governments, unlocking up to $428 million of provincial funding for qualifying projects.
There were decades where across the country we didn't build enough housing. And so the average Canadian household spends more than half their income on mortgage payments.
Municipalities, public sector entities, Indigenous communities, and certain private sector organizations will be eligible for the funding. The Prime Minister also visited with farmers in central Alberta. Carney went to the Antler Valley Farm near Innisfail. He climbed aboard a sprayer and went for a short ride with local canola farmers. He took the time to discuss agricultural issues with the producers. One of the leading fundraisers for the Alberta independence movement spends his days along 16th Avenue passing out flags, hats, and pamphlets. But as retiree Bob Deere pushes for separation, he's also fielding questions about serving time in prison for manslaughter. Tim Brooke reports.
Bob Deere acknowledges there's some irony to setting up shop along the Trans-Canada Highway.
I'm open. I don't want to fight with you. I just want to hear a really good reason to stay in Canada. And in 150 days, I've not heard one yet.
Like other proud separatists, this 72-year-old retiree calls himself a Sepi. He's here almost every day, rallying against equalization, high taxes, and the current government in Ottawa.
You can vote to be a Liberal and be a Socialist, and you can eventually vote your way into communism, and then you can never vote again.
Some passerbys stop here to buy independence merchandise or to donate to the cause. Some just yell obscenities. And a select few want to talk about what happened in 2006. 20 years ago, Deere got into a property disagreement with Calgary businessman Jack Beauchamp. Court documents say he drove a friend to Beauchamp's office, where that friend shot Beauchamp 6 times. Deere was eventually convicted of manslaughter and spent more than 9 years in prison.
My guilt is what my lawyers call akin to the getaway driver in a bungled bank robbery, where the security guard gets shot and everybody goes to jail, including the driver who never knew anything.
Deere still claims the courts got it wrong and is now asking Albertans to not let his past color the work he's doing now. Some believe it's hard to overlook.
It diminishes the credibility of the leadership of this movement, and for those who are thinking about donating money in support of separatism, they may be thinking twice.
Through his registered third-party advertiser, Deere says he's raised $53,000 and counting for the movement. Recent health struggles have him thinking intently about the future of the province and eventually about some of his past.
Maybe if you're doing a story with me at my deathbed, which may not be long from now, I may tell you a little more.
Tim joins us live with more. And Tim, Bob Deere isn't the only Separatist leader with personal legal issues.
Yes, Jeffrey Rath of the Alberta Prosperity Project, Ian, currently has some of his financial assets frozen due to a dispute with a Alberta First Nation. Now, we're expecting to hear a little bit more about that court case next week, around midweek. In the meantime, Rath, much like Bob Deere, insists that there's more to this story than we know.
Thank you, Tim. A woman in her 20s has died after falling hundreds of meters during a backcountry hiking trip near Mount Shark, west of Canmore. Canmore RCMP say officers were called late yesterday afternoon to assist Parks Canada with a rescue. 4 people were completing what was intended to be a loop hike when the woman lost her footing and fell. Members of the hiking party climbed down to the woman, attempted first aid, and used an emergency messaging device to call for help. Strong winds prevented a helicopter from reaching the scene. The group was able to come off the mountain today, and the woman's body has been removed. Kicking Horse Mountain Resort near Golden shut down for over an hour this afternoon for a safety incident, but details on what happened haven't been released. The resort posted a notice that emergency personnel were on site and that all guests, staff, and Boo the Bear and its grizzly bear refuge were safe. Later, it said the incident was resolved and it was safe to resume normal gondola hiking and biking operations. But the Bear Refuge, Catamount Chair, and Eagle's Eye restaurant remain closed until tomorrow. Calgary firefighters battled a fire at a commercial building in the South Airways Industrial Business Park last night. The fire broke out at a building that has a mix of office and warehouse space. There were workers on the roof at the time. They escaped safely and no one was hurt. 2 ladder trucks were used to battle the flames.
It was just chaos, man. I was wondering what happened. We were telling people to get away. It was just crazy flames. Never seen that before in my life.
The flames were like 12 feet up. It was crazy.
Heavy smoke conditions. We had sent a crew to the backside of the building as well. There were some workers that were on the roof when we first arrived that quickly self-evacuated.
The cause remains under investigation. Crews from Calgary are in Edmonton to help with storm cleanup. The city of Edmonton says damage to their urban tree canopy is extensive and requires tree removal, specialized tree removal. There simply are not enough workers in their city to get it all done. Since June, Edmonton received more than 3,000 calls about storm-related tree issues. They also say downed limbs and branches from elm trees can provide a good habitat for beetles that spread Dutch elm disease. That means the cleanup has to be done in a hurry.
Our first deployment includes 12 certified urban forestry staff, including arborists, technical tree fallers, forestry ground crews, horticulturists, and trained laborers.
Calgary crews will help remove dangerous trees and clear debris. So, Danielle, a very challenging summer in Edmonton, but here in Calgary, it's really been quite nice.
It has been quite nice, and today, absolutely stunning. We've had more reasonable heat, nothing going on satellite and radar to talk about. We just bumped our way up to 27 degrees, but we've been sitting at 26 for the last few hours, and a nice little light breeze. Again, lots of sunshine and blue sky. Over these next 24 hours, well, you're looking at getting a little hotter. In fact, we're going to get hotter each day as we head towards long weekend. 28 is our high for tomorrow. Air quality health index likely at moderate. Ian?
Thanks, Danielle. RCMP are releasing few details about an investigation at a property on the northeast edge of High River. Mounties say a major crimes investigation is underway. Several police vehicles have been parked outside a home on 112th Street. We have asked RCMP for more details on what the investigation entails, but no further information has been released. Police say the driver involved in a fatal crash with a cyclist due to a medical event has died. The man in his 70s was driving his Ford Escape northbound on Center Street on June 20th when he had a medical event. His vehicle drifted onto the curb just past 19th Avenue Northeast, striking a cyclist in his 60s. The cyclist was dragged a short distance and died at the scene, while the driver was taken to hospital with critical injuries. He passed away on July 15th. There's still a possibility of a strike at WestJet this summer. Next, how soon planes may have to be grounded in case flight attendants walk off the job. And it's one of the world's fastest growing sports, why some Calgarians are frustrated with pickleball in their neighborhood. WestJet could start grounding flights on Friday, and travelers who are taking up the airline on their free cancellation offer will only receive a travel credit. An agreement has yet to be reached between the union representing flight attendants and WestJet. The two sides are in the final days of a 3-week cool-down period after 99% of cabin crew voted to go on strike. Sunday is the earliest either side could legally take job action. Those with bookings during the possible strike period are frustrated over the uncertainty.
Not really a cancellation where we get a refund in cash or credit. It's a travel credits to your travel bank. So I did have to pay again for new flights. So I've paid double now, and more than double.
We want to create the least amount of disruption possible for our guests. And with that, essentially the wind down agreement, the goal is to try and get as many of both our cabin crew members, but also as many of our guests back as possible prior to a strike deadline in a safe and orderly fashion.
WestJet says it remains optimistic an agreement can be reached before the deadline. A pickleball court in the southwest community of Oakridge is creating some noise that some residents don't like. They say they've complained to the city, which pointed to the Community Association to handle it. Tyler Barrow has more.
Denny Hamill's apartment is only a few dozen meters from the Oakridge Racket Club's pickleball courts.
You can't sit on the deck here and talk. All you hear is that pop, pop, pop all the time.
He isn't the only resident living at Heritage Manor who is frustrated.
We can hear it in the house, and it's horrible. The noise just drives us nuts.
Earhart and Hamill have each reached out to the Oakridge Community Association, and both men says not much has been done. A staff member who helps oversee the Oakridge Racket Club told us the association has worked to help the noise issue by putting up barriers and instituting hours of play from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Kevin Irwin plays on the court several times a week and sympathizes with those who live in the apartment units, but he feels those measures are enough.
I think this is sufficient, 9 o'clock. The noise itself, I understand first thing in the morning, but during the weekdays, most people are gone.
Okay. 11-0. This is not the city's first pickleball predicament. Last year, the city shut down a court in Walden due to the volume of noise complaints and failing to meet the setback distance of 80 meters from properties in a residential area. When asked about the Oakridge court, the city said it's an Oakridge Community Association matter, but that it has not violated any noise bylaw. The association didn't respond to our questions about proximity to homes.
We don't want people to be mad at us over this, but they have to appreciate that we would like to be able to sit outside and have a barbecue.
Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
And Hamill wants the Community Association to make players use quieter balls or paddles and to install better noise barriers.
This is CTV News, Calgary.
Well, if you want to make some noise outside by playing pickleball, it's probably a good night to do it. You know, there's not too much wind, for example.
Not too much wind, and the temperature, I would say, is more reasonable in comparison to what we'll be climbing to later this week. This is a bit of a break from that excessive heat for many communities because it was really hot earlier this week in many spots. Now we're somewhat more reasonable, and then we're going to skyrocket in temperature once again, especially towards Saturday. 39 kilometers per hour, that was our max gust in Calgary, and around that 30 to 40 range for most communities in southern Alberta, and that's going to be the story tomorrow as well. When it is hot, it's nice to have a bit of a breeze at times, of course, to help things feel a little less hot. There's a look at the more, what you could call reasonable heat. It's still above normal. It's still hot, but it's not in the 30s. 27 is the daytime high in Calgary, also our current temperature, and it's currently at 29 in Lethbridge, Brooks, Drumheller, Medicine Hat. Again, with that somewhat of a breeze at times. There are heat warnings in place, and there's different criteria for the southeast corner in comparison to this area. Now, for the southeast corner, what we're looking at getting to by Saturday is daytime highs closer to that 40-degree mark. So excessively hot here by Saturday. Clears home up through Nanton towards Okotoks and over to Bragg Creek. These areas also under a heat warning because you're looking at daytime highs from about 29 tomorrow, getting to 33 by Saturday. Calgary also in that range. We're about just 1 degree off of heat warning criteria. So it's going to be hot for us too in the city, just a degree different than everywhere else around us. All right, radar and satellite, nothing going on in southern Alberta, and there won't be anything going on for quite a while. We have a lot of activity with the system up to the north, and the storm track, which is basically the jet stream, has been over central Alberta, as we've showed you, really for the last 3 weeks. And that's going to change on Sunday. And that's going to bring us the possibility of thunderstorm activity and certainly cooler temperatures by Sunday. What we're going to get before that, though, as we head into long weekend, is this boost and this big push of hot air from the States. It's going to be hottest on Saturday. So this weather pattern will be at its max through Saturday. Then that jet stream will shift south and it will bring in a cooler air mass. And with it could also, well, it could drop our temperatures. So we don't have anything to talk about on the Futurecast really as we head through the next little bit, except a small chance of thunderstorm activity in Medicine Hat. Here's your Action Furnace 5-day forecast. 28 for tomorrow, air quality health index moderate, air quality health index moderate to high by Friday. By Friday, 30 degrees. Saturday, 33 in the city. And then Sunday, the risk of thunderstorms and just a high of 23 by then.
Thank you, Danielle. The province has added 2 new detection dogs to help sniff out invasive mussels. Jane and Winnie are now joining Hilo to help protect Alberta's waterways. The conservation canines work alongside watercraft inspectors at mandatory stops in the province. They've been trained to smell for mussels and sit when they detect the invasive species. Dogs are just part of the prevention plan. Boaters also have a responsibility to properly clean their watercraft. Dogs are often called humanity's best friend, and that's especially true in a crisis. The city of Calgary is getting its first specially trained dog to help people during and after emergencies. The Golden Lab Minnie is joining the team at the Calgary Emergency Management Agency. She will offer emotional support by being calm and providing quiet physical contact, which helps reduce stress and provide reassurance. She'll help people who've been displaced by emergencies, as well as first responders themselves.
So when we have emergency social services and people are evacuated from their homes, she can go into a reception center and she can interact with those folks that have been evacuated to calm them down, provide them reassurance. She also operates in our emergency operations center for all of our agency members that are working downstairs in stressful conditions and long hours. She comes in, visits everyone, and brings the temperature down.
Minnie is 3 years old and will work until mandatory retirement at age 11. It's an Alberta attraction that earned a mention on The Pit recently. Next, head smashed in buffalo jump. On the 50th anniversary of Canada joining the UNESCO World Heritage Site program. And the heat has been good for at least one thing: Tabor corn on sale today. It's been 50 years since Canada signed the UNESCO World Heritage Site Convention. The National Trust for Canada held a special event at Head Smash in Buffalo Jump to mark the occasion. Quinn Keenan has more.
For 5 decades, Canada has been working to preserve sites with special cultural, historical, and natural importance. To celebrate, the National Trust for Canada held 3 events at sites across Canada to mark the milestone, including one at Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump.
When Canada decided to join the World Heritage Convention 50 years ago, it agreed to become part of a world movement to protect heritage places of importance. And so by taking on that, by signing this treaty, it put itself shoulder to shoulder with other countries around the world.
Head Smashed in Buffalo Jump was inscribed as a World Heritage Site in 1981. Since then, plenty of work has gone into preserving the site and its stories. It had been used by various Indigenous groups for nearly 6,000 years before European contact. It is one of the world's oldest, largest, and best preserved buffalo jumps.
It's a sacred site. It dates back 6,000 years. It always has been a sacred site. It always will be. Our people still come here to make connection with Creator and leave offerings and visit the site, pay tribute to our ancestors.
Canada is home to 22 UNESCO World Heritage Sites. That includes 6 in Alberta. Those involved in preserving these sites are taking stock in just how far they've come.
These 22 places in Canada and counting are of such importance in the world's on the world scale that they are worthy of preservation and celebration.
It's more than just locals or even Canadians who benefit from Head Smash and Buffalo Jump being preserved. Each day, visitors from around the world travel to visit the area and learn its history.
It gives us opportunity to share our way of life, but not only share, to retain it. Our young people who work here, they learn the stories, they gain a sense of identity, a sense of pride, and they share those stories with folks from around the world.
Quinn Keenan, CTV News, near Fort Macleod.
A sweet southern Alberta staple is now on sale. Tabor corn has hit the stands in southern Alberta. Johnson Fresh Farm started selling the peaches and cream cobs today. Calgary will be able to get their share of corn starting on Friday. Despite the wet start to the season, Johnson Fresh Farm says the recent heat has been ideal for growing conditions. Wonder Woman with an Indigenous touch still ahead. That's some of the art to come out of an artist's mentorship program at the White Museum in Banff. Banff's White Museum has a long history of working with Indigenous artists. Now, 13 artists are part of a mentorship project. Their work will be exhibited in a gallery at the museum. Kevin Fleming reports.
She's coming up with a new design for her Wonder Woman costume, and Christy Northpagan is adding an Indigenous touch.
So I have a 3-part series, and it's the rough working title is Ukinanaki, which kind of translates to essentially High Boss Woman.
For the Indigenous Artist Mentorship Program, Northpagan says Joseph Sanchez and AJ Loudon continually challenge her.
I make things that light up, so it was really important to them that I integrate some of that futurism into my projects as well. So for my 3-part, I have a triptych that is very classic religious iconography, but I'm using it to tell the story of 3 Blackfoot, manly-hearted women that were really iconic in their time.
Emma D'Souza heads the year-long project and says 13 artists are taking part from a variety of nations and generations.
In Alberta, there are so many amazing Indigenous artists specifically, and they're just kind of a perfect group to work with in the sense that the creativity is, completely unique to what we see anywhere else.
Tiffany Woolman is Cree Métis and says her piece represents the resilience of the Métis spirit.
I think the strongest thing for me about the mentorship program is working with the other Indigenous artists and meeting other artists from the different nations and starting to feel like a sense of belonging, because I feel like being Métis for myself, and looking the way I do, it's like you're not totally one way and you're not the other. You're somewhere in the middle, and it's hard to feel where you belong.
Woolman says her painting is inspired by road allowance people from the early 1900s, where Métis lived on small pieces of Crown land that was unused road allowance. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Calgary.
Some beautiful work there. Actress Jennifer Garner is spending some time in Canada this summer, checking out her crops.
I like that.
That's Garner on a farm outside Weyburn, Saskatchewan. She's the co-founder of Once Upon a Farm, an organic baby food company. In this social media post, Garner thanked a farmer named Shannon for growing, as she said it, the most beautiful organic oats.
Oh, yeah, Jennifer looks very excited about these oats.
Indeed.
Look at that.
It looks idyllic, an idyllic day on the farm. Yeah. Performer with Cirque du Soleil is showing that pregnancy is no barrier to doing amazing things.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
This is Aruna, and she's due any day now. The contortionist is still practicing with the traveling troupe. She's hoping her training will help get the baby out on time.
I don't know. I feel like if you're in that direction, you're probably keeping it in a little longer.
Well, and when you think about it, aren't babies in utero often upside down anyway, right?
I guess so. Also, what she's doing, people who are not pregnant could not do that. So
yeah,
pretty impressive.
Absolutely. Here's a musical mashup a few centuries apart. This is Courchevel, a medieval bardcore band from France. They perform at historic castles all over the country. And Michael Jackson isn't their only venture into music a few hundred years later than medieval times. They also cover Ed Sheeran, The Weeknd, and Chapel Roan's Pink Pony Club, among others.
Well, there's a take I wouldn't have expected, but
Yeah.
sounds pretty cool.
Lots of catchy tunes there. Lots of fun. Microsoft is pulling in big numbers. It's doing very well with its cloud and AI services. We'll have the numbers coming up in our business report.
Oh, what a day out there. Lots of sunshine. And it was hot, but not as hot as we have been and what we're going to get. 27 is the current temperature and our high. Normal is 24 degrees for this time of year. So yes, we're above normal. It is hot, but we're going to get to 33 by Saturday. So that will be a lot hotter. All communities staying just out of that 30-degree range, even in the southeast corner where we've been at the 30s for many, many days. Heat warnings in place. Jenner down through Medicine Hat over to Foremost, Many Berries, and then this one clears home up through Nanton, Okotoks, Bragg Creek. Calgary's not in this heat warning, but we're just a degree off of being in the heat warning. Basically what you're looking at are daytime highs. They will climb a couple degrees each day and will be in those lower 30s by the weekend. And communities in the southeast will be in the 30s again by tomorrow. There's nothing going on radar, satellite, nothing to talk about for the next 24 hours. 28 degrees as our high for tomorrow in the city. Air quality health index likely at moderate throughout much of the day. That's your 24-hour forecast brought to you by Action Furnace. Fix right or it's free. Taking a little look around, 30 in Golden for tomorrow in Fernie, 34 in Kelowna. In those mid-20s for Edmonton, Rocky Mountain House, Red Deer. It looks like Edmonton will get a break from active weather, but there's a small chance of a thunderstorm for the Rocky Mountain House area. Drumheller, 31 for tomorrow, 29 for High River, 32 for Brooks, and in the 33 range for Lethbridge, Medicine Hat, and Milk River.
Thank you, Danielle. Back to breaking news. Police believe they've found the remains of Parker Wells, who disappeared on July 16th. Alicia Fieldberg joins us again from police headquarters. And Alicia, it's not the end everyone was hoping for.
Ian, it's a tragic end to the nearly 2-week-long search. Thousands of people have been out looking throughout the city for Parker. And that 11-year-old nonverbal autistic boy wandered away from his day home on Connaught Drive Northwest on Thursday, July 16th. Now, this afternoon, the remains of a small child believed to be Parker were found several kilometers away in the 5600 block of 7th Street Northeast. Now, police received a tip yesterday night from a member of the public out searching who found shoes near a culvert. It's believed the child entered the culvert on the west side of Deerfoot Trail, then got into a web of small tunnels. The opening of the first tunnel is about 4 feet, but it leads into a labyrinth of pipes that get as small as 2 feet in width. The remains were found about 450 feet inside that network of pipes, and investigators believe that he had been there for quite some time. Police and Calgary firefighters had previously searched the creek and tunnels, but the smaller ones were unsafe for the searchers to enter. At this time, there is no evidence of criminality in this case. Investigators think that he went into the pipe in all of his clothes that he was last seen wearing, but his shoes washed out later. A medical examiner will investigate the remains. Calgary's police chief is commending the efforts of searchers.
On the investigative side, we've been working on this from the initial outset. The core team of investigators haven't stopped. They've been at work 15, 18 hours a day for the last, 12 days? And so we always held that little piece of hope.
While today's news brings an end to the search for Parker, our responsibility to his family does not end here. We remain committed to understanding as much as we can about what occurred and providing those answers to his family wherever possible.
Parker's family is asking for time to grieve the loss. Calgary's mayor and Alberta's premier are offering their heartfelt condolences, and this has also touched a lot of community members. Anyone looking for support is asked to reach out to the Victims Assistance Support Team through Calgary Police. Ian?
Thank you very much, Alicia. City Council has recognized the 4 Calgarians recently named to the Order of Canada.
Each of them has made a meaningful impact, enriching lives and helping shape our nation and our city.
The 4 recipients were named as members of the order last month and were in attendance for the recognition at City Hall. Vicky Adams-Willis is the longtime artistic director of Decidedly Jazz Dance Works. Chris Cran was praised for his innovative explorations of painting. Janice Pasica is a surgeon who has helped transform care at the Tom Baker Cancer Center. And biochemist Jerry Wang has helped advance biomedical innovation in Canada. Microsoft profits have taken a big jump. Mirella Fernandez from B&M Bloomberg has more.
Microsoft shared its numbers after the end of the trading day. A key metric for Microsoft is the amount of money it makes from its cloud service called Azure. It came in above $100 billion for the first time. That's 43% better year over year. Another key number, how many people are using Copilot, Microsoft's AI agent? The company says it reached over 30 million paid seats. That's 10 million more than its last quarter. Here are the closing numbers for the day. The Canadian dollar is down to 71.15 US. West Texas Intermediate is up over $5 to 84.69 US a barrel. Western Canadian Select down another $3 to 62.14, and the TSX lost 415 points today. Those are your business headlines. I'm Mirella Fernandez.
Table tennis is taking off in Alberta, and a unique overseas partnership is getting the credit. We explain what's causing the big bounce coming up.
They just need one. Mercy. Brilliant!
A dramatic goal in added time sealed the victory for Cavalry FC last night. Amir Didic headed a corner kick right into the FC Supra du Quebec goal to give the home team a 2-1 lead, and that was the final score. Cavalry hosts Inter Toronto at Spruce Meadows on Saturday evening.
Maggie Doherty-Howard just there clipped the feet out from underneath Lauren Rowe.
Wild FC was not as fortunate in Toronto last night. AFC Toronto scored on a penalty kick in the 51st minute, and the final score was 1-0. Wild FC is still looking for their first win of the Northern Super League season. They host Toronto at McMahon Stadium on Saturday afternoon. A unique exchange with China is helping turn Alberta into one of Canada's fastest growing hotbeds for table tennis. As more athletes travel overseas to train and more coaches come to Calgary, the sport is seeing unprecedented growth. Moses Waldu has more.
The room is packed and every single table tennis court filled at the Calgary Junior Table Tennis Association.
Ping pong, the population is getting bigger and bigger. So we try to get more people involved.
Former Canadian table tennis coach Yeonjin Duan started his club over a year ago, and they now have surpassed 200 members.
We are not a tech company. The AI means love in Chinese.
That love for the sport is leading to a unique cultural exchange between Alberta and China.
Table tennis is a very good sport in China, and now it's almost spread all over the world now.
Vong remembers how difficult it was to find rental space to teach the sport when he arrived in Alberta 13 years ago. Now Alberta has 7 dedicated spaces across the province, and some of the athletes got to hone their skills in China last year.
From China, they learned a lot from China, the technique for the whole day.
8-year-old Dallas Ng recently finished 3rd at the Youth World Table Tennis Championships in the under-11 category. He went on the exchange last year to Harbin, China, and says that experience has helped improve his game.
A long time ago, I used to always fall on the ground, but I'm trying to let my footwork better a lot.
Others are also gaining that experience in their own backyard, learning valuable tips from Chinese coaches.
You could get it way better. It would go on the table. She would always give me pointers of what I could do better.
Duan hopes that more exchanges like this will bring more attention from table tennis players from across the country. Moses Wildu, CTV News, Calgary.
According to Table Tennis Canada, there are 4,500 active participants competing at a competitive level. Tonight on Golf Tips, Glenn Campbell learns how to strike that golf ball a little better.
Mackenzie Meadows Golf Tips with PGA Pro Scott Orban.
We're on the driving range at Mackenzie Meadows, and Scott, what tip do we have today?
Well, we're going to talk about ball striking with our irons particularly. So there's been a lot of talk about shaft lean when people are on the net looking at this kind of thing. So shaft lean, what is it? So for a right-handed golfer, what I want you to notice, when I pick up this golf club, my hands are in front of that club head towards the target, more target side. That's how this thing should set up. At impact, I'm going to think of my mentor Ben Hogan. At impact, I've got a long left side, and you can see there's this shaft lean is there. My club head's behind there. So what we're trying to eliminate is this flippy type motion golfers try to get at. So two drills. One that you can do at home right away. We get set up, split our grip, okay? And when you do this flippy motion, it's going to feel very awkward, feel like you're going to hurt your left side. So you just set up like that, keep a long left side, back, through, make the swing. There's something all of you can do, and then bring your hands together, simulate that shot. Something we use in our academy, and Glenn, you're going to try this out, is a little impact bag.
Okay.
So Glenn's going to give this a little swipe, and it's going to emphasize the shaft lean for him. There you go. So we have people hit that and then go ahead and strike the ball. So go ahead, Glenn, and strike one. How did that feel?
Felt good. Felt great.
The beauty of the impact bag, go ahead and hit another one while I talk. Beauty of the impact bag is we don't tend to flip our hands at that. We move our bodies properly. You don't have to think about moving parts, you just do it. So go ahead and stripe one more for us, Glenn. And he's ready to play. Those are the two best shots I think I've seen this guy hit.
And next week on Golf Tips, we flip things around. Cameraman Chad gets the tip and Glenn does the shooting. Looking forward to that.
That's a switch in pace. Also, I'm pretty sure Glenn's been golfing every day. He has
a wonderful swing. I was very impressed.
Yep.
And some really good weather for golf, too.
Oh, today would have been fantastic. Tomorrow's great as well. We're basically stable, sunny, for right up and through the end of Saturday. However, the temperatures are going to climb a little each day, so it's going to get hotter and hotter and hotter. 28 as our high for tomorrow. Air quality health index moderate. We may be a little higher on Friday, like a little smokier, as we get those winds out of BC, where all the fires are. 30 degrees is the high for Friday, and 33 for Saturday. And then completely different change in the weather pattern. We'll bring the jet stream down, colder air mass rolls on in, and that will likely spark up some thunderstorms in southern Alberta. We have the chance of seeing that here by Sunday with a high of 23. Weather window brought to you by Lux Windows and Doors, crafting quality windows and doors for your style, budget, and Alberta's climate. Grant Bond, thanks for sending this beauty photo in.
Good weather for golf and fishing. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. Have a great night.